Welcome to CBS Mornings on this Tuesday, the 4th of January. I'm Gayle.
I'm Tony Dokoupil. And I'm Nate Burleson.
Yes, he is. We're all here. Let's go to today's Eye Opener. It's your world in 90 seconds.
Protect yourselves. The roads right now are very slick, in some places hard to pass.
Oh my goodness, we were slipping and sliding when we was traveling.
The biggest snowstorm to hit the mid-Atlantic in years clogs up highways and causes more flight cancellations.
The FDA authorizes Pfizer's booster shot for 12 to 15-year-olds as new COVID cases surge.
They've tripled and quadrupled in numbers. It's been a rapid rise.
Former Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes has been convicted of fraud. She was found guilty of 4 of 11 counts.
She must now face sentencing for her crimes.
And the Justice Department prosecutor who launched the Capitol riot investigation tells us about the huge search for suspects.
If your conduct fit the crime, we have the evidence, you were charged.
New York's Attorney General has subpoenaed Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka Trump about an ongoing civil investigation into the family's business.
Big Ben played in what might be the final game at Heinz Field in his career.
The Steelers beat the Browns 26-14.
We all know that Jeff Bezos had a great New Year's because here's a photo that went viral of him ringing in the new year with his girlfriend. Genuine question, is that a shirt or a tattoo?
Last week, the CDC announced it's cutting isolation time for Americans who test positive from 10 days to 5. But people are a little suspicious because just days before the new guidelines were released, the CEO of Delta Airlines asked the CDC for a 5-day isolation. Well, that's just long-standing policy. If your business is named after a variant, you get to make one rule.
This morning's Eye Opener is presented by Progressive, making it easy to bundle insurance.
Well, we've talked to Delta CEO. We know they don't like that it's named after their or that their company has the same name.
Yeah.
They try to do everything they can to distance themselves.
Jeff Bezos having a good time over the New Year holiday.
Yeah, we should say that was a 70s party.
Oh, okay. That clarifies
things. That was a disco party.
Oh, is that why you had the low-rise jeans on?
Yes.
That is helpful context.
Yes, put it in context. Right. I think so too, Tony. We welcome you to CBS Mornings. One of the reasons why we like this job so much, we get to talk to people. We got to talk to you. One of the people we're talking to today is the Late Late Show, James Corden. He will join us a little bit later on. You may have noticed that James looks a little trimmer these days. That's because he's serious about his health. First on CBS Mornings, he'll show us how he managed to lose 28 pounds in the past year. Plus, we'll ask him about his show reaching a major milestone. It's huge.
Yeah, 1,000 episodes. We're also talking to the first whistleblower at Theranos after the Elizabeth Holmes guilty verdict. Tyler Schultz's grandson of former Secretary of State George Shultz worked for the company until he found out that something wasn't quite right. He risked his career, his family relationships, reported his concerns. He'll talk to us first on CBS Mornings and give us a reaction to that major jury verdict.
Yeah, we have a packed show, so don't you go anywhere. But first, we still have a New Year's travel mess across the country. The biggest snowstorm to hit the mid-Atlantic in years left even more travelers stranded after dumping at least 8 inches on Washington, D.C. Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware also saw record amounts of snow. The combination of snow and COVID led to more than 3,000 flight cancellations yesterday. Errol Barnett is in Springfield, Virginia. Errol, good morning.
Hey there, Nate. Good morning. I'm standing off the I-95 here in Virginia, which is a massively busy and important thoroughfare through this part of the country. It was shut down in both directions for 50 miles because of accidents overnight. Behind me, you're seeing traffic be diverted off of the highway and onto the surface streets. Temperatures are below freezing. The ice beneath my feet is slippery, and all of those conditions will have an impact on how travel nightmares play out today.
You're looking at I-95 in Stafford County. Look at that.
Images like this played out all night as the biggest snowstorm to hit the D.C., Maryland, and Virginia region in 3 years upended the commute of thousands.
This is the view from our car, literally the same view that we've had for the past 5 hours.
Nisa Semester was traveling from Massachusetts to North Carolina and has been stuck on I-95 in Virginia. She recorded this at 3 a.m.
We are extremely concerned for people who have limited supply of food, water, and gas, because if they don't have gas, they can't keep their car running and they might be freezing.
The state's Department of Transportation says it's been working one by one to clear tractor trailers involved in crashes contributing to the blockage. But that's little comfort to stuck commuters enduring bitter temperatures that have dropped to 17 degrees.
I have never been this frightened on the road before.
Many have been sharing their ordeals online, pleading for help, including this from a desperate parent with a 4-month-old in the back seat.
We haven't seen a plow truck or a police officer in 7 hours.
Airports also bearing the brunt of the storm, canceling even more flights on top of the thousands already scrubbed.
It's a saga.
William Humphrey and his fiancée, both pathologists, are stranded in Nebraska after their flight plans were canceled 5 times.
And between that moment and the time that the person helping us at the desk, put my suitcase on the conveyor to check it, and then turns around and it says that our flight's been canceled.
The doctors are now considering driving the more than 1,300-mile journey home to Vermont so as to not risk more time away from a hospital that's short-staffed due to COVID.
It's kind of seeing what I've been seeing at work now is affecting all parts of our lives.
Now, back here in Virginia, off the I-95, I can tell you that we've seen emergency vehicles move through here. We know that snow plows and tow trucks, they are being allowed through on the highway to help those who are stranded. And the big piece of advice is that if it snowed heavily wherever you are in the country, there's a very high likelihood that there was ice overnight. So if you don't have to hit the roads today, stay home, Tony, and stay safe.
Yeah, good advice. Not a winter wonderland where you are, Errol. Thank you very much. Turning to the coronavirus, where infections are shattering records here in the U.S., health officials reported more than 1 million new cases yesterday. Now, that number does include Saturday and Sunday totals, and of course, hospitalizations have not risen as quickly. However, the 7